This is such a big thing, right?
Thank you.
Come on, Jim. Good morning, Colin.
Morning.
Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Hello and welcome to Qatar's first sports podcast, In the Game. I'm your host, Steve Mackey, and we can't wait to introduce you to everything that is sports here in Qatar and afar. We're going to be bringing you personalities, company owners, institutions, individuals that are making a real difference. So, with us, enjoy the journey.
Hello and welcome to In the Game, Qatar's first sports podcast. We have a guest today that I couldn't believe that you do one type of sport that's incredible. Khukood, please introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
Hi, my name is Khukood. I am from Qatar. I am an endurance horse rider, the first Arab female horse rider to have reached the world championship.
World Championships, huh? And we were talking earlier, so you've got some world records too, right?
Yeah, I do. I've broken the record in Bahrain for the 120 kilometers. I've done a speed of 27 miles per hour. I've broken the record here in Doha also for the 90 kilometers. I've broken the record in Kuwait and in Oman, but I'm not sure if my record still stands in Oman. I didn't check this year's results, but yeah, I'm doing quite well.
Yeah, that's good. And I was staggered that these races last for 160 kilometers,
yeah. It depends. Like there are races which are 80 kilometers, but they are for beginners or people who wants to qualify. And then there are the 120, and then the 160, and there are also the 230.
And how did you get involved in this?
I've always loved horses. And people try to tell me that I'm not good. My physique is not good because I'm petite and horses need a lot of force and it's a man's sport. So I went with what they said, and I didn't start horse riding until I graduated from high school, which is 2010, when I started learning, and the next year I was in the World Championship.
No way.
It was that fast.
So you've got a real talent with horses.
I guess, I suppose, yeah.
And what's the secret? What's your secret?
Don't use force. People think that horses need force and they need strong men and they need a lot of power in them, but it's not that. You have to just understand the horse, because just like people, horses also have personalities. Like my personality is different than yours. Maybe you need force, but I don't need force.
Yeah.
It depends. You have to just understand your horse. You have to learn about it. So I
it's
guess that's the secret.
Having the relationship with the horse.
I wouldn't say relationship.
Yeah.
It's just like being a psychiatrist. Like you understand the horse. If you understand it, you don't need a relationship. If you just let the horse trust you, that you're in power, you're in control, like you know what you're doing, you're not going to force the horse into doing something it doesn't want to do, then the horse will eventually trust you. And you don't need a lot of time. Some horses, yeah, you may need a lot of time to break into them. But not all of the horses.
Okay, so let's say you're going for a championship now. How long do you have with that horse before you're going to the race line?
Sometimes I only have the race line. So I have to understand the horse really quickly, as in just 5 minutes before the start line.
No. So you
and then you have to learn about the horse, of course, during the course of the race.
So that you get a brief beforehand of what the horse is like? Or?
No. You just have to look at it, understand what it wants, see how it's moving, understand him or her.
So I see the film that came out years ago, which was The Horse Whisperer. So you whisper to the horses, right?
I don't whisper to the horses. I wish if I could.
You're communicating constantly.
But you do communicate,
yeah,
yes.
Of course,
yes,
you're communicating. So on an event, so let's go back to the time that you found yourself with this talent. How did it come about?
Well, I told my dad, I've always loved horses. I've always loved animals. And I told my dad I wanted to go horse riding. He's like, okay, he was my number one supporter. He took me there and you know, as I told you, like everyone thought it was a man's sport, and especially in Doha, maybe not in the West, not in Europe, because it's a ladies' sport there, because they're more softer with the horses and they understand. But in Qatar, we have the stereotype that horses need force, which is not true.
Yeah.
So I went there and nobody wanted to take me in because, I'm petite, I'm small, I'm a girl. And, the stereotypes in Doha as well that, girls are not very consistent. They're not very determined. She's going to face the first difficulty and she's going to leave. If she falls, she's going to get scared. And it happened. I did fall. I did get scared sometimes. I did face a lot of hard time in Doha, especially for finding a good trainer that wanted me. But eventually, I was even looking at YouTube, watching videos and trying to apply stuff. And it worked for me. And then one trainer, he saw me and he felt sorry for me, I guess. And he took me in. He put me in a race a week after, like, his training. And I got third place.
No.
It was a shock to everyone because it was just a week of training. And it was like third place.
And that's we call it one in the eye. You showed people, you kind of, yeah. So I kind of, I've got all these things going through my head at the moment. So the horse has got to be pretty fit, but
Definitely.
if you're going 160 kilometers, you have to be pretty fit yourself.
The stamina has to be really high, like not just your legs, not just your abs, like everything in your body, because you're working every muscle in your body, your shoulders, your arms, your abs, your back, your hips, everything is moving with the horse.
Dear me, must be. And what's the course like? So is it just a flat course that you...
No, it depends on the country we're in. Like, I really enjoy courses in Europe because you get to go in the rivers, you get to go up mountains, you get to and some courses are very scary and dangerous, like Florak. I'm not sure if you heard of it, but it's very dangerous and some people die actually, like falling off because it's a very small way to go up the mountains. And it's very scary, but it's very nice because you feel the adrenaline. That's when the trust comes in between you and the horse. The horse has to trust you, and you have to trust the horse to pass that path. And it's really, really nice. And I think it's very beautiful to have that trust.
So you're going up into the mountains. You're going into the ravines must be like drops completely.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm trying to envisage this now. So you are very petite. You're very small. What do the guys? So you're racing against guys, or is it just
guys?
So that's an important thing that we bring up here. So you're racing against guys, and they're looking at you at the line, and they're thinking, "Oh, okay, no problem."
Yeah, everyone is underestimating me until I proved them all wrong, and then everyone was fighting for me to ride in their team.
Really?
Yeah.
So you got.
And I felt like I had the power now.
And again, it's very important to, again, sometimes when you're talking to people and you talk to certain people, you can feel this energy from them, and you've got that energy. You're just and we've done some photography before the interview, and your beaming smile that comes through is incredible. So you get up on this. How big is a horse? How are they quite?
I like Arabian horses. Arabian horses are a bit smaller than English horses.
Right, okay.
Arabian horses are more suited for endurance riders, long distances, because this is what they're made for. And they're usually smaller than flat racing, for example.
Yeah.
So I would say 16 foot maximum, 16, 17.
17 is quite big.
Not really.
Not really. I went into the Qatar Equestrian Centre the other day, and some of those horses in there, they're huge, aren't they? They're just
these are for jumping horses.
Yeah. They were just, I couldn't believe the size of them. And I went in there and again, you talking about understanding your horse, getting to know your horse. I was with somebody that been involved in horses, and I was always told to feed a horse with your hand out flat. And he was saying, no, it's okay once you know. And then he was putting his hand into the horse's mouth up above the teeth and tickling his nose. And it's like,
some horses enjoy that. They like to play around. They're just like babies. You have to give them your attention.
Yeah. So this is an incredible story. So you're racing against men. They laughed at you in the beginning. Now they're saying, please come in. Now, your trainer that gave you the opportunity, that must have been. I'm so glad that there's people out there that does that type of thing, and there are lots of them.
Yeah.
He believed in you, right?
Yes, he definitely did. He believed in me and in his mare, because his mare has never done any races before. So it was my first race, and it was the mare's first race, and he was really scared. But I'm so glad he put the faith in me. He could have chosen any other rider, guy rider. But I'm so glad he chose me. And then an Australian trainer, which was Al Shagab's national team's trainer,
Yeah.
he picked me, and like he fought for me because it was like the first girl ever who would enter like a boys team, and it's a national team. It's nothing easy, you know. You have to like get qualified, and it was a long process.
Yeah.
He fought for me, and I'm so glad I proved everyone wrong, and I made him so proud. I hope he's listening.
Yeah, I hope so too. And I can't wait to get him on the show, because this show's all about kind of talking with people that's making a difference. Obviously, you're making a huge difference. And you've made a huge difference, and I love that, because I see so many things happening in Qatar right now, and women have got such a spirit to go out and take on whatever they want to take on.
This is what I'm trying to promote. This is why I'm actually in this show. It's just because people tell you no, you're a girl. Just because people tell you can't do this doesn't mean you can't do it. Just because you're petite, you're not strong as a man, doesn't mean you don't have different qualities that might be better for, like in some sort of discipline, better than men.
Yeah.
You have to just do it.
And the lovely thing is, again, I go around to quite a few things, and I see these. I've been to quite a few meetings with empowering women. You're an inspiration. You're just a perfect example. It's like you saw something. You could have quite easily gone and found something else to do, and you could have crumbled under the pressure, or you could have kind of went in a different direction. But to then go out and do 160 kilometers in conditions that were incredibly tough. How do they train the horses to do that?
Well, I was in camps where we train our own horses. So we train them twice a day, once in the morning after prayers, Fajr prayers, and then once in the evening, Maghrib prayers. It depends on each trainer. I can't tell you like how or how many kilometers. It depends on the trainer himself and what he has for each horse, what his plan is, the way he gives the food, what kind of food, what kind of attention like the horse needs, what kind of massages, what kind of... It's just basically like a human athlete.
Yeah. And I've been to Al Shakab, and I've seen the facilities there. In where they train all the horses. That's an incredible place. They've literally got swimming pools and everything.
Yeah, they do. And if you go to Al Shagab, it's a really nice facility for horses. It's amazing. It's a 5-star resort for horses.
Do you know something? I'm one of their biggest fans. I love going there. I love going just to watch there. I wanted to do it. We wanted to do street soccer. We do a street soccer program, and we wanted to take it there. And I got friends there that work there. I love the place. I'll go there at every opportunity just to see the place, and just because I do love horses too. I don't know, it's just been in my soul from I don't know how long. But I love going to see the world champions, and I love going to see the way, because they're it's a 5-star. It's a 5-star hotel for them.
Yeah, it's one of the best facilities, and that's why you see the best horses in Al Shagab. Like if you know the beauty pageants, like the Marwan Al Shagab, he's one of the prettiest horses around the world, and he's always winning. So we have a lot of champion horses. Even in the Asian Games, I'm not sure if you watched Sheikh Mohammed go up the steps with a black horse. He's also in Al Shagab.
Unbelievable. That was incredible, because it was very dangerous.
It is.
It was very dangerous. And
the horses trusted Sheikh Mohammed, and Sheikh Mohammed was a very capable rider.
Oh dear, it was
and
impressive.
He trusted his horse, and they trained together for a long time for that.
Yeah.
And they've succeeded.
No, it was really impressive. I did see that, and I watch it all the time, because it's one of those things. When I show my family when I go back to the UK, I say, just watch this guy. It's like it's going up the. It was incredible. But I kind of, your story, and I'm going to go back to the empowerment of women, because it is important. And I'm sorry I jumped there, because I'm thinking about the horse, and I'm thinking about what you're doing. But you are I haven't heard about this before. This is the first time that when I met your husband and we started talking, I didn't realize that you were a world champion, that you were doing this thing, because I've never heard of this horse racing before. And it's like, you need to get, I suppose you're pretty big here in Qatar, but people need to kind of take note of what you do. And especially to go out there and say, hey, listen, don't listen to anybody. You just go and do what you believe. And if you want it that much, go and do it.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. And especially here in Doha, the government here are providing a lot of opportunities for especially women, especially nowadays. So the old days are over where women are, scared to go out in public, or not good enough for businesses, for sports, for anything. Those days are way over.
Way over.
This is our time. This is women's time.
Yeah. And this is a generation's time. Okay.
Yes.
This is where you've got, and I keep on saying just before the meeting, I do startups. To every one guy that's out there planning on a business, there's 4 women ready to they want to take this. They want to push it as hard as possible. Okay, going back to your side. If somebody wanted to get involved in this, or somebody that's out there that looked up and said, they've just seen you on film. It's like, how do they get involved in it? How can they get in contact with you if they wanted to get in contact with you, and so that you could support them in different ways and giving them the right advice?
It's very easy. You just go to Qatar Equestrian Federation or Al Shagab, and they take it from there. That's
Really?
what I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just went into Qatar Federation. I started riding, and next thing I know, I was in Shagab national team.
And have you got an Instagram or something like that you do follow with your horses and what you've won and all that kind of stuff? Your PR
Yes,
side
I
of
do
things?
have it, but now I'm a bit going undercover.
Okay,
'cause, yeah.
no worries. But I hope that we can shine a spotlight on you anyway, because that's you are really an inspiration. It's kind of, but I'm still trying to work out. I know that I've been on a horse for a little space of time, and I couldn't walk for the rest of the week afterwards. It was so how you look at this and how you go 160 kilometers.
Lots and lots of training. You have to have like stamina of, I don't know, but it's just very, very hard, as you said. So you just have to keep training every day and all day for that.
Okay.
And you have to be very well prepared.
And let's give a special mention to your father.
Yes.
When we've got daughters, we're always going to it's like it's some fathers, he supported you in everything you've done.
And he was with me in every race on the finish line. Very proud of me. I would make him very proud because I would always be first.
I can tell you're very proud of your father.
I am.
Yeah.
He's a very good man.
Oh, that's another good story. It's kind of we want to. The thing with it is I keep on saying this to so many different people. Just work as hard as you can, because there's always going to be if it's a father, if it's somebody that picks you up as a coach, if it's we had a lady boxer in here before, and she suffered from I don't know if suffered is the right word, but she had dyslexia. She found out she had dyslexia, and it was only because she was doing boxing, and her trainer looked up and realised that she wasn't punching well, or she wasn't doing the right training. And then all of a sudden the world opened up for her. An incredible story, but it's down to individuals that you sometimes come across out there that looks up and says, yeah, you know something, we can do this.
Yeah.
We can do this.
No matter what kind of physical ability you have, or, what kind of shape you're in, you just have to start somewhere.
You said to me that, and we're leaving the important person out, which I know is the horse. You've got a horse. What's the horse?
My favorite, SM Flow. It's a mare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
she was like me. She's petite compared to the other horses, the champion horses. Nobody wanted her. She's moved from one stable to another until I rode her.
Oh dear me, and it's a fitting story.
Yeah.
We kind of summing things up now with your horse, because as you said, that horse puts a lot of trust in you, and you put a lot of trust in that horse.
Definitely. And she didn't need any force. She was a champion, but all the other riders, all the other stables were used to using force with her. And it didn't work out. I rode her. I realized she hates being forced into stuff. She just needed that trust.
Yeah.
And I rode her, and my trainer was like, okay, let's try a guy on her again. And they tried, and she wouldn't go.
No.
And then they realized, okay, now maybe we need to change the way we train horses, change the way we train riders to deal with horses.
So this is something that you've brought in.
Yes, and I'm very proud of that.
It's very good. I kind of view it's been an absolute pleasure with you coming on the show today. Is there a message, is there a message that you say to people out there that want to take up this sport? Is there a message you want to part with them?
Not just for this sport, for any discipline, for any, even business. Don't listen to what people say. If I've listened to every person who told me you can't do it, you're a girl. If I listened to the people who tell me you can, they just want to bring you down. And people are usually afraid of something new brought to them. They're afraid of experiencing new stuff. They're afraid of new stuff, basically. But you never know until you try it. You never know. Just because you failed the first time doesn't mean it's over. You have to just keep trying, be consistent, believe in yourself.
This has been an amazing message for me, and I don't need to do any more talking after that. Thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been an inspiration for me. Everybody, thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed the show as much as I did today. Till next time, bye-bye for now.